Okay, good evening and welcome to Iyun HaMishna. Tonight we'll be analyzing Terumos, Perek Gimel, Mishnah Vav and Zayin. It seems to be a question from one Mishnah on another. And Mishnah Vav says that you can't do it out of order. If you do it out of order, it takes effect. You're not supposed to take off Bikurim after Truma. You're not supposed to take off Truma and then Bikurim. You're not supposed to take off Ma'aser Rishon and then Truma. If you go out of order, the specific order you have to go in, which is really outlined in Mishnah Zayin, why Bikurim comes before Truma, and Truma comes before Ma'aser Rishon, and Ma'aser Rishon comes before Ma'aser Sheni. If you out of order, B'di'evet, Mishnah Vav says it's Chal, it's B'di'evet, it works. It's considered Truma, it's considered Ma'aser Rishon. Because the Pasuk says, Malaya Chavadei Masal Oz Acher. Malaya and Dima is referring to Bikurim and Truma respectively. Los Acher, you shouldn't delay it. You shouldn't delay these things. You have to do it in the right order. If you take off Truma before you take off Bikurim, if you delay taking off Bikurim, because Bikurim is supposed to be before. So Mishnah Zayin seems superfluous. Why does that to say? It gives a reason why Bikurim comes before Truma. The pasuk says Malaya Chavadei Masal. Malaya is Bikurim. When the fruit ripens, Malaya becomes full. The Mascha is lashon of mixture, which applies to Truma. Chazal refer to a mixture of Truma less than 1 in 100. Is Midameya, it makes it Dimua. So we know already that the pasuk says Malaya Chavadei Masal Lo Sa'achar. I tell you, you shouldn't do it out of order. What's the necessity of the second Mishnah? So I'd like to say that the first Mishnah, Mishnah Vav, is really not telling you in order. It's not telling you in order. It's just telling you that it's Chal B'di'evet. That's the lashon of the Mishnah. Even though you violated a losa because it's losa achar, don't delay it. It's chal. I mean, if I take off truma gedola before bikurim, right, and then I take off bikurim, so I have delayed taking off bikurim. But how do you know my truma gedola I took off first is valid? It says losa achar, l'chadchila, don't delay it. But if you did delay it, it's valid. That doesn't tell me necessarily that l'chadchila I have to take off one before the other. Meaning. Let's say, for example, I took off Truma Gedola and I continue to take off then Ma'aser Rishon and Trumas Ma'aser. I forgot about Bikurim. Would that be a violation of Losa Acher? Not really, because I didn't delay taking off Bikurim. I didn't take Bikurim off at all. So I didn't violate the pasuk there at all. So how do you know Bikurim? There's a mitzvah to take it off first. That you know from Mishnah Zayin, where it tells you it's a svara. It's a svara min Torah, I would assume. Pasuk Vav is just telling me last when I take off Truma and then I take off Bikurim, I have done it out of order. So the Bikurim is Chal, B'di'evet, even though it's taken off second. Lo Sa'achar, I shouldn't do it, but if I did it, it is Chal. And that's the whole crux of that pasuk to tell me that it's valid B'di'evet. How do you know that it's supposed to be Chachila, you're supposed to take off Bikurim for Truma? That you learn from the second Mishnah, it's a Svara min Torah, because Bikurim, the word itself, Bikurim, besides being called Truma and Rashis, but Truma Gdola is also called Truma and Rashis, but it has the connotation where Bikurim is first ripened fruit. So Bikurim itself means the first ripening. The first thing it's supposed to take off is Bikurim, and then Truma precedes Ma'aser Rishon, because Truma is considered to be, it says Rashis by Truma, which doesn't say by Ma'aser Rishon, and Ma'aser Rishon for Ma'aser Sheni. Ma'aser Rishon has Trumas Ma'aser, which is also called Rashis. So that's why Mishnah Zayin leads out the Svar D'Oraisa, you have to do the Chadchilas. What's the practical nafkamin? The practical nafkamin is like the case I said before, where you decide, I don't want to give Bikurim in my fruit. You have to give up Bikurim, or your grapes, your first grapes, so you don't want to give Bikurim off of it. So I take up Truma, and I take off Ma'aser Rishon and Trumas Ma'aser. So technically, I haven't been over Losa Acher. Losa Acher just tells me don't delay. Delay means I delayed, but I did it at the end. So if I took off Truma and then I took off Bikurim, I violated the pasuk Losa Acher. But Truma is Chal. I took it off first. But how do I know when I'm not taking off Bikurim at all? I decide I don't want to take off Bikurim. I don't want to give the Kohen Bikurim. I don't have the money to spare. I don't want to give up Bikurim. How do you know in that case that Truma comes before my Ma'aser Rishon? Ma'aser Rishon comes before Ma'aser Sheni. How do you know the order? Or you just want to decide I want to take off Bikurim and not Truma Gedola. I just want to take off Ma'aser Rishon. How do you know the order? The order l'chadchila, the way you're supposed to do it, that is a Svar min D'Oraisa. The Isser only applies when I delay it, where I do it out of order, right? Where I take off the Bikurim after the Truma. If I don't take off the Bikurim after the Truma, so then that Mishnah Vav is no longer applicable. Then I have to jump to Mishnah Zayin to know the proper order to take off Trumas and Ma'aseros. Hope you enjoyed today's share. We'll see further nafkaminos in the Mishnah is coming up ahead. Be well. Bye.